Welcome to CSEC Biology, the cover page. I am Mr. Wilson, and today we're going to be looking at average. How do we find the average of a set of numbers? Let's hop right into the lesson. If you have not yet liked, share, or subscribe, I invite you to do so now. And when you subscribe, please ensure you hit that notification bell and select all so that you'll be notified as soon as there is a new publication. I also want you to check out my biology and the HSB class. That's on a Friday, Wednesday, and Sunday at 5:05 p.m. We're streaming out of Jamaica. So here we hop right into the lesson. This is the average that we'd love to find. And the first thing we're going to be doing, we're going to be looking at how we would have find this average if we were supposed to do it on paper. So usually what we would have done is to find the sum of these numbers. Would add all these numbers and would probably end up here with 43. So you know how we would have added. You would have seen the lesson before. And then what we would have done is probably to put 43 and would put divide by the number of numbers here, which would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. Would have divided by 6. Remember, it's an operation, so we must of course have that equal sign there. So put that equal sign and we would have had 7.1. But look at this, if we were supposed to remove the 5, the average doesn't change. So what it means is that though we have had numbers that are pretty similar to these numbers here in the column, it doesn't really reflect the numbers that are in the column. So let us look at how we would do it with the number in the column if we were supposed to use the pen and the paper way. So we are going to be using the pen and paper way. What we would have done is to put our equal sign here, and this is the sum, right? And then we would slash divide, and we could divide by 6, which here would have been a constant, right? And we would actually end up with that. However, if we were supposed to delete the 5 here, you would have observed now that this time the average has changed. All right, now it has changed, but let me show you something. We are now using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers, but look what happens. It is still dividing by 6. So that is never ever going to be the best way to carry out your average operation on your Excel sheet. So now we're going to be correcting all that to give you a better result. So we want to find average, and it's 43. The total here is 43. There are several ways in which we could do it, and we're going to be going through 4 ways in which we can get this done. So now you have seen some ways that probably the first time use of Excel would have tried, and it would have probably given you a result that is workable, but as you proceed you would find that that would change. Now the beautiful thing about the ways that I'm going to be showing you is that you could actually put formula for the operation in the cell before you actually have the numbers in. For example, here we're finding the sum for visitor attendance. So if you observe, the equation is already here in the cell, so it reflects a 0. But if I were supposed to put 10 there and of course 5 there, it would of course reflect 15. And if I were supposed to put another 5, and that is what would have happened. So this is very, very nice using equation or using formulas in the cells, as that would allow you to have a live ready sheet to do the operation just about any time. Let's look at the average function. So the average function, we could get the average many ways. We could go here to the auto sum button and we could actually select the average, and there it has selected of course a range of cell to find the average for. Now of course we don't want to find the average for 43, but it is selecting 43. We could do a number of stuff. We could move this up, or we could just change the number here from C12 to C11. So if you double click now, you would realize it is at C11 and not at C12 because we're using the cell address. So it says here we are coming from C6. So here is C6. This is the 6 over there, and we are going down to C11. So column C and row 11. So it's always the column first, then the row. And we use a colon here to show the range. So there we have the average. And of course you could format the cell to round it off to just 7 as single digit, or of course you could use decimal points. You have to make that decision, and of course we'll show you in another lesson. So I'm going to be showing you another way to find this here. We could also go to the function, right, and we could look for average. It is nicely right there, and it tells you here what the average is used for. It says to return the average arithmetic mean. Alright, arithmetic mean is the same as average of its argument, which can be number or names, arrays or references that obtain numbers. Alright, so let us hop on right into it and see what the result will look like. Alright, so it's asking us now for the range. Now we don't have a range there. We could type that in. We know that we are coming now from D, column first. So we're coming from D6, and we're going to put that colon in, and we're going to D11. Alright, remember, so here we go, 7. So let us see if we are coming from the right place. So there we have it. Now we're going to be looking at something else. So now this is formatted to just return 7, whole number. So we could also go to recently used function. There we have it, and we could select, and it is saying that it now understands the range. We are coming from D13 to from C13 to D13. This is showing us that we are moving horizontally. So we are coming from one column here to another column. That is not what we want to do. So let us just bring that up, and we are going to highlight the cells that we want to use. So we're going to be doing this. These are the cells that we want to have in the operation, and then we are going to go down. So we are using E6 to E11. We're in the same column, and yes, that is correct. So we are going to be selecting that. So those are two ways. Now we could also come here, and we could look for the function. Here it's a statistical function, here is a function, so we could use that as well. And again, it is moving sideways horizontal from C13 to E13. We don't want that, so we're just going to be pressing this up here, and then we're just going to highlight, hold the left mouse button and just pull down the cursor. There we have it. Now we could just click enter, and there we have it. We're in the same column, column F, and we are going from F6 to F11. So here we go, okay, and it is 7. Alright, so now we have found out how to put in the function by clicking on the formula tab. So here is the formula tab. When you logged in, it would have been on home, but you just clicked on the formula tab, and you would have seen the formula here represented in the formula bar. You could also find the formula by clicking this insert function to find the formula or the function for the operation you want to carry out. So you're going to be finding the function for the operation you are carrying out. Now another way we could have done that, let me just copy this here. I will just put some numbers here. Let me put in 10, and we are going to put in 15, and we are going to be putting in 20, and we could put in probably 35. Alright, so we want to find the average of this. We could just click there, and we are going to put in the equal sign first to indicate we're going to be carrying out an operation, and then we're going to be typing in the word average, alright, and then we're going to be putting in a curve bracket. I want to put in another curve bracket, and then you might have a little difficulty here, because if you had entered the information here already, you would find some challenges, a little challenge putting it back in here. So you could just go up to the formula bar and edit from the formula bar, but now we can edit from here, so let's just do it. Alright, so I'm editing from there. Put the cursor right between the curve brace, and then we are going to be highlighting this area. Alright, so there we go. So our answer here is, of course, 20. Alright, so that's a nice way to get it done. So here we have it. We could edit from here. We could edit from here. It is coming from C6 to C11, but I could, of course, reduce the range. I could carry it down to probably 9. And here, nice to just cover this. But we want to put more information here, so we brought it down to 11. So there we go. So there we have it. Those are many ways to find average for your spreadsheet for your exam. Please ensure that you practice. That's the only way you are going to become perfect. Until next time, I am Mr. Wilson from CSEC Biology, the cover page. Please be reminded to like, share, and of course subscribe if you found this video helpful. Remember also to check out our biology and HSB classes on a Wednesday, Friday, Sunday at 5:05 p.m. and we're streaming out of Jamaica. Take care.